things that you can do. Mobile devices, printing, TV, movies, that kind of thing. You'll have to know. You'll have to know how to use these dimensions, and how to get it. Anyway, here we have the different sizes. We have NTSC. These, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 examples, or now I stumble here because there's so many others, and they're actually choices, but there's so many other choices that there are with film and video that but they start you off. Photoshop starts you off with some, so that you won't have to always have to type in what you need to type in as far as the film size, the video size. Sometimes you might not be using the full screen. You're using just a little portion of the screen where your video is going to, your graphic or your animation or your video is going to appear in the whole picture. So anyway, there's 6 of them, and this is for NTSC. Now NTSC is the American code for television. Not American code for television, but that's the format that they use. Now you'll see PAL or PAL. That's the format for the European countries, and they have a slightly different format than the United States. In fact, they're not interchangeable. You can't play a PAL movie on TV. You can't on American TV. You can't play American movie on a PAL TV, for example. If they are PAL and you want to play it on American, you won't be able to. It has to be converted or initially designed for either or. Then you have the other formats. You have Digital Pro, and then you have the HD formats, and then you have other formats, Cineon and film. So all in all, you've got a pretty good start here, and it's not that these represent everything that there is out there, but it does give you a start. And I think there was one more. No, there wasn't. Okay, we'll go back to custom. If you're making a custom size, which most often people are, because somebody will say, hey, I need a print 4-color printed process for example an ad, and I need it 5 by 7, and it's going to go into a full color magazine. It's got to be high gloss, blah blah blah. Okay, so what do? You put your image in. You change this to inches because he gave you inches, so it's going to be a what did I say, 7 by 5? Let's say 7 by 5. 7 width and 5 height, so it's going to be that tall. Now, how much resolution do you need for print? You need a lot. In fact, I would say 300 DPIs, that's dots per inch, for anything that is printed. We'll get into why later. So we'll put the 300 in there, and then we'll change this to CMYK. And why? Because this is for video, this is for printing. Okay. And the background, well, that's totally up to you. You could have a white background, a particular color background, or a transparent background. I usually like to work with white because it's what the paper is made out of, for example. Okay, usually printers start with white paper, and then whatever colors go on the paper make up what color it turns out to be. Okay, so we'll do white, and we'll put let's say timely ad. I say that facetiously because they always want ads to be timely. Okay, so here let's check and see if we got this thing right. We have an image size menu there, and then we have 7x5, and it's 300, and so on. Okay, now let's say we'll go to the other one and explain that, but I think this is important to go into right now. We'll go back to this rev it up image, and let's say the client wants it reduced. Well, you go back to image size, and you can reduce it from here. You can actually reduce it by percent. It starts out at 100, and anything below that means it's going to get smaller. Anything above that means it's going to get bigger. One interesting thing about enlarging a low resolution, and 72 is pretty low here, and I'm going to highlight that for you just to show you what I'm talking about. Low resolution cannot be made bigger or add more resolution. Now, resolution means you have more dots per inch, and it's a clear, it's just a better looking image because it's got more information in there. You can't make something that starts out small into something sharp and clean that has a lot of dot per inch information. It's just not possible. There's ways to trick, but it's not always used. It's really not a recommended thing to do. You have to start off with a high resolution image and then work yourself down. Now, this Rev It Up Studio design was actually started off in a high resolution, and then I reduced it down to this size so that it could be used for transporting it to the client to look at. There's a higher resolution image in the file that is going to be used for the printing. So this one here is basically for transmitting over email and then sending it to the client for viewing and approval. So that's what we have there. Now we're gonna try to change the size. We can actually go here and reduce it by 50%, and we'll notice that the bottom number when I did that changed too. That's because I have these this one here checked off, this constraint proportion and then resample image, and when I did that, that caused it to constrain the size so that both sides would be equal when it's reduced, or come down 50%, both the height and the width. So I'm going to cancel that, go back there again, and reduce it down without it, and you'll see what I meant by that. I'm going to take this off, and then I'm going to reduce this down by 50%. Oops, didn't do it. Okay, there it is. See, it didn't automatically constrain the proportion. So you have one at 100%, the other one at 50%, and you'll see the distortion take place. Okay, so and then you go up to edit, undo, and you're back to where you started from. Okay, I'm gonna stop for now, and we'll come back real quick, hopefully next week, and we'll talk some more about very interesting things. We're going to talk about the tools on the left hand side. We're going to talk a lot about what's behind all these files, file menus up here. What's in there? What can you do with them? Those are the things that are very important. Then you'll have some things up here, depending on your I guess whatever you're using in Photoshop, whether it's old version or new version, you'll see this or you won't see it at all. And then what can you use on the right hand side to have it always available? That's these things here, so that you could always go to it, because they're useful things that you're going to use all the time. And you're gonna decide for yourself. You're not gonna do what I do. You're gonna decide for yourself what's important to have on the right hand side as helpful, quick reference and quick use tools. The ones on the left, they can be removed, but you don't want to do that, because these, you're always using them and you're going to always need to go to them. And I think they were created this small and this kind of obscure in a way, so that they're out of the way, but they know that you're going to be using it, so they're there. And so anyway, I've done enough talking for today. I'm going to stop for now, and we'll come back and deal with tools and menus at the next meeting. Thank you for joining. See you next time. Bye.